Hello, dear Aries. This is Jamie Dawn. I am your evolutionary, revolutionary astrologer, bringing you your July 2021 horoscope. July. It's amazing. Here we are. Entering into the 7th month of this year, and we start right off the gate now that Mercury is direct. Yay, it went direct on the 22nd of June. And so hopefully we'll start to feel some relief as the month of July is opening. It gets out of shadow on the 8th of July. So we just have a few days into the month when we really start to get that clarity and the communication starts to flow a little easier. And some of the electronics and technology snafus start to, well, I don't know. I mean, will they get better? Maybe. It just depends on how we manage our energy, because I know some of you can blow up a TV or a computer or whatever just by looking at it. It doesn't matter if Mercury's retrograde or not. So, all right, I'm running off on a tangent, but let's talk about the energy and the possible influences for the month for you, dear Aries. And we start out with the Mars-Saturn opposition in that 5th and 11th house. And with Mars in the 5th house, it is going to be igniting the love, the pleasure, the things that you want to do for play and your creativity. And Mars likes being in Leo. It likes that fire sign. It wants to be adored, and it's going to be driven, and it's going to drive you. Think of it that way. It's like driving a fast car, if you will. Maybe that's what some of you will be doing, is test driving some cars in the month of July. It's a great time to do it. And it's also a great time to attract new love if that's what you're looking for, or if you're in an established relationship, giving you an opportunity to connect and just have some fun with your beloved. Now, with this opposition to Saturn, we've got the put on the brakes, hold on, there's some limitations here. And that's in that 11th house of friendships. And so it's very possible that you find this push and pull between wanting to go out and have some fun, and your friends are saying, yeah, but you committed to helping me with fixing something in my car, or you committed to helping me move, or hey, we're getting married and you and your +1 is supposed to come with me, and that's a lot of fun, but you got to buy the suit, or you got to buy the dress, or whatever. And so you may feel this push and pull between having fun, and yet there's possible obligation or some rules and restrictions that you have to play by with your commitments to friendships or commitments to a particular organization or a group that you may have been involved in, or you are involved in. So that's one of the things to pay attention to at the beginning of the month. That obviously, when we're looking at Mars, that is your ruler. We're also looking at that energy of frustration that can show up, the god of war, right? Of saying, I don't want to do this. I can see some of you folding your arms and going, I don't think so. I'd rather go and have fun versus fulfill my commitments to the things that with my friends or my group. So just be aware that when that shows up, it creates a bit of tension, especially as Mars will then also create a square with Uranus on July 3rd. And that's in your 2nd and 5th house, which again, that 5th house activation of pleasure and fun. 2nd house, Uranus, the square usually is tension, usually a challenge, which means in that 2nd house, it could be some resources. It could be monetary resources. It could just be physical resources that you either have to tap into. Your expenses may go up a little bit during this time because you're trying to fulfill that commitment. And yeah, that can be a little frustrating, especially if you had future plans of what to do, let's say with that financial piece. Now, the other part of this that is good about a square is that if you are willing to roll up your sleeves, which Aries, I don't think you have any problem putting in some hard work, that if you're willing to roll up your sleeves and get resourceful, you can suddenly, Uranus here blessing you, can suddenly give you some unexpected tap-in resource. that you didn't even know you had, or you've been waiting, especially with Mercury retrograde in June. Maybe you were waiting for that loan to come through. You were waiting for the raise or the promotion and the income to come through for you. Suddenly it's there. It's a great time to buy a car. I don't know why. I'm just really tuning into some of you Aries that need to get a new vehicle. So July is a good month to do it. We also have on July 4th, which is Independence Day here in the United States, that we have a sun squaring off with Chiron in your first and fourth house, giving us an opportunity to process some of the wounding that we may carry when it comes to our own sense of self, how we show up. It's going to feel a little bit like this me and what I want, and I'm giving to everybody else, and it's not as much fun. And yet what can happen is that if you're willing to walk through the tension points of this first week of July, that you'll be able to not only have the resources you need to fulfill your commitments, but you also may find some wonderful opportunities for deeper healing and being able to feel a little more at home within your true self. And I think that's really important for a lot of you Aries, most of us as human beings, yeah? We also have a new moon in Cancer on July 9th, and this new moon will be active while Mercury is finally out of shadow in your fourth house, giving you more of an opportunity, hopefully, to feel at home, to give you new activation around that empathy, the emotions, the intuitive body. So if you needed to make decisions or you've been dealing with elderly parents, this is a moon that can bless you with some good opportunities to make those decisions. Also, it's a chance for you to be able to look at maybe some of your past, some of your ancestry, and continue to work on healing that so that you can be the best version of yourself. This is also a wonderful time for those of you Aries who are looking to move to a new house. And maybe you just got married in the month of June and you guys are now merged together. Maybe you were already living together, but it feels different, after you've made that turn into this thing called marriage. Some of you may be looking at, now we can start planning to move homes, and you may not have even thought about it before, but now the communication's flowing again, the ideas are crystallizing, and you're going to start planning to look ahead about relocating. We also have Mercury entering Cancer on July 11th, so shortly after this new moon, making a beautiful trine to Jupiter in Pisces, which is retrograde. This is your fourth and 12th house. And this will allow you, I feel, to be able to, number one, trust your intuition, go really deep inside of yourself to find that hope, that faith, that trust in who you are, as well as receive these messages. That I feel like it's like the antenna for the universe is wide open, and you just get these downloads of beautiful information and beautiful visions. I would definitely say, Aries, please, please, please use this time around that July 11th, all the way through the end of the month, to take some retreat time, take some time out for yourself, because I sense that the month of July is going to have you extremely busy. And so you're going to need to make sure you have regular meditation time just to kind of be quiet so that you can receive this information from your higher wisdom. And then you'll be able to channel it into your loved ones, into the place that feels like home for you. It may be even into your own physical body that you're working on feeling at home in. And some of you are going to be taking on a new health routine, that sort of thing, especially when Mars enters Virgo at the end of the month in your sixth house. And so this is an opportunity for you to look in the mirror and say, what do I need to do in order to improve, whether it's my physical health, mental health, spiritual health, maybe all the above. And so you'll probably start really looking at it middle of July, and that by the end of the month, you've got a plan in place and you'll be ready to go. We also have the cosmic lovers of Venus and your ruler Mars canoodling in Leo. That is on July 13th in your fifth house. So if you're looking for more pleasure, if you're looking for more fun, it's going to easily be attracted to you. Also, your creativity will be at an all-time high, and you should be able to get the things done just for the fun of it. And this gives you a chance also, if you're single, Aries, to attract that beautiful, fun, I won't say partnership, I will say date. I want to offer this. See if you can take on the mindset of dating as being just a chance to get to know another human being and to have some fun. So if you're looking at a something to do, this Venus Mars canoodling is a perfect time to go to a concert or get outdoors for a movie night. You know, a lot of places are doing like movies in the park, things like that. This is also a great time if you are a sports fanatic, if you want to go to a sporting event, or maybe you and this new person you're trying to get to know decides they want to go, I don't know, kayaking, or they want to go, you want to go to the beach or whatever it might be. This is also going to be a time, if you're just focused on yourself, to be able to have that beautification for yourself. So maybe you're looking at some sort of cosmetic addition for you, or you're wanting to change your hair color, or you want to buy a new wardrobe or buy that fancy car. This is a great time that you can attract what you want and what you need. And that instead of buying something practical or doing something practical, you may just go, I'm doing this just because I love it. So it's a great time for that. We also have the sun in Cancer trining Neptune in Pisces. It is retrograde. It's going to be continuing the theme of that fourth house, which is home, and your 12th house. And I would imagine that around this time, if some information, some secrets, some hidden dreams, things that you weren't quite sure about was ever going to be revealed, this is a time where it can be revealed. And you can use it as a tool for anchoring in more healing, more compassion, and hopefully more intuition into your home life. The one thing that you will have to pay attention to is that you don't go in too far into escapism or fantasy if the emotions get a little carried away or get a bit intense, because the sun is making a natural square, to your sun, moon, or rising sign here in Aries. And so it's possible that that emotional tension could have you wanting to escape. And so you do have to pay attention if you're wanting to escape through some sort of substance addiction or through avoidance of certain issues or realities that you probably need to tackle. Now, we also have the sun in Leo on July 22nd, and Venus will move into Virgo that same day. So your fifth house, again, more activation. You really do get to shine in the month of July. You should start to feel like the universe is really working in your favor. It's energizing you. It's making you shine in a way that people are seeing your gifts and they're wanting to tap into you. That natural leadership in you comes out. I would venture to say, some of you Aries, if you've been looking for that promotion or that opportunity to lead a particular charge, or lead a particular event, or lead a situation, it doesn't necessarily have to be work related, that by the time the sun enters Leo on the 22nd, you should be poised and ready for standing in the spotlight. And then Venus moving into Virgo will offer some of those details. It will offer some of the prudence that you need to make decisions. And this is activating that sixth house, which is health. It's also daily routines and your rituals, the things that we do on a mundane level. And with Venus here, it's a way of being of great service. And so if you step into that leadership role, you do it from a humble perspective, from that humble warrior is the image I get with you, Aries, and this Venus, Virgo, Sun, Leo activation. Now we have Aquarius full moon, and the Mercury will be trining Neptune during this time. And that's going to be on the 24th of July in your 11th house. And that's where, if you've made all these commitments to your friends and your groups and organizations and things like that, that it could all come to a culmination. And you may find that you have a little bit relief in your social calendar. And so you're able to complete some of those commitments, and you're also able to communicate. Maybe there's some more information that comes in that you get to use to close out some of the stuff that was started way back a few months ago. And I say that because we had the full moon in Leo, yeah, that was way back. If you have to think back, February, March time, right? And so this is sort of closing some of that theme out. And with Mercury active here, there's most likely going to be a wonderful flow of intuitive information as well as concrete information that you can use in order to move forward and in order to make some decisions. I will offer that we continue to come back to our values, the things that are important to us, the things that we believe in as our integrity or what's right for us when we're making these decisions. And then we'll be able to know that we get that great peace with ourselves. I will further emphasize that with this Mercury trine Neptune, your intuition is going to be speaking to you. Remember, the body doesn't lie. Intuition is always working inside of us, but sometimes we have to take the time out to really listen to it. And that's what we have to be careful of. And you, Aries, who's always on the go and always ready to get things done and moving, needs to make sure you take time so that you can listen to more internal intuition, more internal wisdom that you have. Because if you're always on the go, you don't have time to truly listen. Now, the other thing we've got is Mercury will move into Leo on the 28th and Jupiter retrogrades back into Aquarius that day. So your fifth house is going to continue to be active. Most likely, you're going to have a lot of thoughts and ideas and communication around what do you love? What do you find pleasure in? You may find that you become even wittier and even funnier to so many people, and you get a chance to just have fun. But with Jupiter retrograding back into Aquarius, it's also going to be reactivating where Jupiter was at the beginning of this year before it moved into Pisces on May 13th. So your 11th house, you may be revisiting some of your friendships. You may see some friends come back. You may also have some obligations within a group or an organization that needs to have a different flavor to it. You may even feel a bit restless and like you're ready to rebel against it, and you don't want to be a part of that group anymore. It's possible that as Jupiter is retrograding back here, it gives you an opportunity to look at it from a new perspective, because you've had other experiences now that are shaping the way in which you want to interact. Now, also, I would say that your social calendar will probably stay just as active and continue to increase over the next few months. So you're going to have to strike that balance between, now I don't need to overcommit myself with Jupiter moving back into that 11th house. I need to make sure that I stay on top of my schedule and I allow myself to have the space and grace so that I can have some fun. Mars enters Virgo, as I mentioned earlier, on July 30th in your sixth house, and Virgo being the natural ruler of the sixth house, at Mars there, it will have you looking at some health issues. It may be mental health, it could be physical health or spiritual, as I mentioned, but you may be more focused and more driven to get a routine in place that really serves you. This is a great time to get some new habits established so that you can free up your time to have more fun. So, all right, Aries, I certainly hope that this helps. I will offer one other little piece because, as we all know, relationships are always on our mind, whether it's personal, professional, romantic, whatever it might be. I would say that the month of July should have you in favor of positive interactions within relationships, as long as you keep your ego in check. And what I mean by that isn't that you negate the ego, but it's that we be careful that our personal agenda doesn't take over and we over-attach ourselves to a particular outcome or an expectation of how somebody's supposed to behave. This is a month of radical self-acceptance and putting yourself out there with your own fanfare, your own flair, if you will, your own way of being and who you are, and letting people line up to it. And if they don't, they don't. If you are attached, if you're in a bonded relationship, then this is a time for you to be able to not only shine with your beloved, but bolster them, lift them up, put them in the spotlight. and allow them to shine as well, because it will naturally reflect right back to you. I would also say that July, if you're looking for commitment, you may get it, but it will come in a deeper fashion, in a different fashion. It will come in more of a fanfare. I would say some of you may get engaged like in public, those public engagement kind of things. Some of you may also find that there's declarations of love and declarations of great loyalty that show up. And then okay, we're in this together. This is great. So just know, I believe that July is going to offer you the opportunity to have some of your hopes and some of your wishes fulfilled. And I'll jokingly say, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. And I want to know about it. I want to hear about it. So like, comment, subscribe, share. Would love just to continue to celebrate you, support you however I can. And of course, find me at jamiedawn.com. Take care, Aries. Have a good month.